Okay, here's the Chinook prepped for priming. I got a little bit of pre-shading around the engine nacelles to make sure that everything is nicely covered with some paint. And usually in the Chinook there's a lot of dirt accumulation around these. As told before, the window framing around the cockpit is black and will be sprayed over now, and the only thing I have to do is to mask off the anti-glare panel right on the nose of the fuselage. All the windows are masked off, and even the bulged windows have received the liquid masking agent. I hope that'll work out, otherwise I will have to scratch free the windows. Well, I rather don't do that. Okay, this is just a quick update, and next step will be priming and painting. See you in a bit. Bye bye. Chinook time again. The primer is dry, and the layer of future I had applied is dry as well. And now I will be washing the Chinook with a number of different washes, and they're all going to be MIG washes. This is the dark wash, the neutral wash, and oil and grease. That'll be in the area of the engine nacelles. Once that is finished, I'll give you another update. See you around. And on we go. As you can see, all the pedal lines have been painted with washes in different shades, where some are more obvious than others. And as the first step, I'm just taking regular Q-tips to wipe away excess wash. Later on, I will use thinner for washes to actually repeat that procedure. I just want to have a good part of the washes gone before I start that procedure, because otherwise it's going to turn into a mess. And removing the initial quantities here does help preserving the thinner. All these quantities here can be very easily removed, and it will ease the process of cleaning up the helicopter. Okay, I'll continue this and I'll show you the result when finished. And here we go. You can see I have wiped away a big portion of the washes already, but quite obviously some of it bit into the white base below, but I don't really care that much, because this is a test for me as well if the procedure works as such. Now I'm taking the thinner for washes, same product as the washes itself, and now I'm taking a clean brush and some cloth, and now just go in and clean each panel from the paint, panel by panel. let the color sit in the recesses as it may. And I continue. I will be showing you the results soon. See ya. I've been commencing the pre-shading on the Chinook. Let's wait. You see, this looks rather dirty and rather too much for an in-service helicopter. I mean, I have seen a few rundown ones on YouTube and on the internet in pictures, but this is definitely too much. So this needs to be covered up, and so this is just really a pre-shading. I hope this works out. This is a first for me. One of my credos in building models is that I try to learn something new all the time. With every single build, I try to do something new, try something else, try something different. And this is, for example, the pre-shading technique. This is new. The other thing new for me is that I usually do not attach any detail to a ongoing build that is too small to survive the building process. I tried it this time, and I had attached all the antenna struts here on the side and the skylift hooks and so on the bottom of the fuselage, and of course most of them came off. I will have to reattach them later. It's not going to be a big problem, but it's an annoyance really. Unfortunately, I'm just too clumsy. Probably it's just that sometimes you can't teach a new trick to an old dog, and I've been leaving off the small detail all my modeling life and added them in the later stages where I would be pretty confident not to knock them over again. Alright, well, it happened in this case, and I will have to attach them. What I will be doing now is I take my airbrush and I take highly thinned white paint to go and paint panel by panel, trying to tone down the pre-shading. This will probably not show very nicely on the video, so I will be just showing you the result as soon as part of this is finished. Okay, so everything I'm doing is I'm taking white Vallejo paint, thinner, low pressure airbrush, and a 2mm nozzle airbrush, and I'll try that. That is a novelty for me too, and I certainly do hope it works out fine. The result will be shown to you in a bit. Till then, see you. Okay, first results. I'm quite satisfied with the result. Let me show you. So I wanted to, whoops, crooked video. Somebody once said we can't have crooked videos. All right, there you go. A little bit more light. And now I certainly hope this shows. This is the side I have. Probably I should have somewhat less light. Be seen more. This is the side I have been pre-shading. And this is covered with white. And this is what it was before I put on the white. I think this difference is quite obvious, and let's see if you can see it from the top. This is the side with the white over the pre-shading, and this is the pre-shading without the thin white coverage. I'm quite satisfied with the result, even though I probably do a couple more passes. And of course here in the internet and on camera in this close-up, this seems more dramatic actually than it actually is. But it looks good. I like it. All right, I'll continue, and I'll be back to you in a little while. See you. Okay, I have finished spraying my Chinook. I hope you see that much of the pre-shading is now covered. On video it still looks more dramatic than it actually is. From the shine of the model you can tell that I have already finished it with Future, and it's pretty much ready for decaling. And this is what I'll be doing next. I got two sets of decals. It's the one from the kit. It's pretty nice, pretty decent decal sheet. It's printed in Italy for Revell, making me guess this is a cartograph decal sheet, and that's usually very good quality. The second I have is this custom-made one from my club buddy Frank. Thanks to him, I'll be able to build this Chinook as a United Nations helicopter. What I will be doing to decal the Chinook is, first of all, I get this plate. I get some regular window cleaning agent. Just give a few drops onto the dish, and then I have some distilled water ready, and this is just room temperature distilled water. The dishwashing agent, or the window washing agent, is actually helping to let the water dry more quickly, and the tension on the surface is less. The Chinook, it has been a pretty big build really for a 1/44 scale with almost 100 plastic pieces. It's yeah, well, it's big, what can I say? And now we are about to add another, I don't know, 30 decals here, and that'll certainly help to improve the look. To further help me with the decaling process, I have Mr. Mark Setter, with this, which is a concoction of a liquid substance with some whitish stuff that settles on the bottom of the container. So this always needs good shaking before use. I stir it up now, and I will be stirring up a lot more before actually using it. It's just to make sure everything will be nicely dissolved. The other one I'm using is Mr. Mark Softener. I don't know if this will be necessary. This is really only if the decal is to go across intensely formed shapes. I certainly hope I can avoid that, but especially with the United Nations decals, I'm not quite so sure, because these are homemade, so this is a pretty big film. I'm not so sure if this is going to work out all that smoothly as planned, but I certainly hope so. But just in case, I will have Mr. Mark Setter at hand. Both Mr. Setter and Mr. Softer will react with the future coat on the Chinook. But that is not such a big problem. It looks dramatic at first, but the effect will subside once everything is cured. So don't panic if anything starts looking funny on the decals. It's just the reaction of the setter or the softener with the future coat. Alright, and now I will be starting the decaling process. I'll be using a soft brush, a soft white brush. This one is better tipped, so I will be using this one instead of the first one. And then I will be using a tipped brush just to be able to apply the decals. There are quite a few decals on this build, so this is probably I will probably not be able to do everything in one go, but with all the hull covered with fresh decals, it's hard to handle, so I'd rather do this step by step and see how I go along. I tend to go from the bigger bits to the smaller bits, so this is what I'll be doing. I will be putting on the United Nations decals first, and the bigger decals here from the Revell sheet. Okay, so wish me luck. This is a process I certainly do not like a lot, but well, we can't really avoid it, can we? Okay, so see you in a bit. Bye bye. Okay, probably you would like to see me do this. Well, I promised you that if you watch my channels, you will see my triumphs as well as my fails. So be prepared to watch a big fail. Okay, I'm starting with the biggest of the decals. Yeah, well, this is the usual. Take scissors and cut yourself a piece of decal. All right. Now, what I like to do really is not to let these float, but take pliers, dip them face first, backside seconds, and then I just let them sit on the rim of the dish in the dry, because that'll be way enough to let the decal float from the carrier. Of course, this is taken some time. I'll be using a bit more water. And this will take just a little bit to conform. While this is loosening from the paper, I'm trying a first go with my homemade decal sheet, thanks to Frank again. Now I'm trying to give it a try. He made a few extra ones, so I don't have to be too careful to use them all exactly. I should be needing, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 4 bigger ones and a few of the smaller ones. So I'm just making a test with the bigger one, just to see how that reacts. Of course, this has no trimmed sheet, so I need to be pretty careful to minimize the film around the letters. Okay, this moves nicely. Okay, before turning my attention to the United Nations marking, I'll just be giving this one a go. Just making sure this is the right way. Of course, this is going to be a little bit difficult for you to see because the white surface is not really the best to work with. Okay, I'm taking a little bit of water and apply it to the surface to make sure that I will be able to shift the decal into place. Just a little gliding film here does help the process. All right, now I'm trying, let's see if we can make that visible for you. Have you seen my pliers? I don't see my pliers. Well, all right. Ta-da. It wasn't so bad. Well, it's not really a perfect fit, seemingly, but that's nice enough for me. I like it, and that was pretty much painless. I wonder. That's not the usual way. Usually I'm having a very, very hard time with the decals. So just don't judge the book by the cover. This one went on fairly well, and I'm surprised. Okay guys, you've seen how I do this, and now I will be going on decaling that, and I'll be showing you the results in a bit. See you then. Bye bye.